14 natural ways to unclog arteries that are good for your heart. Arteries are the biggest blood channels in your body, and they are responsible for providing oxygen and nutrients to every organ, tissue, and cell. To suggest that keeping these essential channels in good working order is important for your health is an understatement. However, millions of Americans suffer from clogged arteries. They have atherosclerosis, which is an inflammatory condition in which plaques, fatty deposits composed of cholesterol and other substances, form inside arteries, interfering with normal blood flow and potentially leading to heart disease, heart attacks, and stroke. According to some estimates, atherosclerosis is the root cause of 50% of all deaths in westernized societies, and it is the leading cause of strokes and Alzheimer's disease. The good news is that there is a lot you can do dietary-wise to reduce your risk of atherosclerosis and even reverse existing plaque buildup. So, what exactly causes plaque development in arteries? A common misconception about arterial plaque, atherosclerosis, is that high LDL cholesterol levels are the primary cause. But, according to Dr. Ford Brewer, MD, MPH, a board-certified preventive and occupational medicine expert, this is only a tiny part of the story. So, who is the main culprit? Having prediabetes or diabetes is the most prevalent cause of atherosclerosis, and hence heart attack and stroke, renal disease, blindness, and so on, explains Dr. Brewer. LDL is important, but only in a minor way. Insulin resistance is typically induced by a high sugar, high carb diet or having too much body fat, he says. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, around 1/3 of all Americans have insulin resistance, a disease in which cells in your muscles, fat, and liver do not respond effectively to insulin and cannot efficiently absorb glucose, or sugar, from your blood. This, in turn, raises insulin and glucose levels in the circulation, causing widespread inflammation and potentially damaging the artery lining over time. The damage weakens the arterial lining and allows cholesterol molecules to infiltrate through the artery wall, Dr. Brewer explains. This cholesterol deposits as plaque inside the artery, narrowing the aperture. How dietary modifications can help prevent atherosclerosis. As previously stated, the major causes of insulin resistance, and hence atherosclerosis, are a high sugar or high carbohydrate diet, as well as being overweight or obese. Eating a diet rich in anti-inflammatory, antioxidant-rich foods, think vegetables, low glycemic fruits, nuts, seeds, fish, olive oil, limiting sugar, and substituting healthy grains like quinoa for refined grains like bread is a good idea in general. This diet is great for maintaining blood sugar balance, and so preventing insulin resistance, and it has been found to minimize the risk of atherosclerosis and heart disease. Keep in mind that whole grains can be a large source of carbohydrates, so combine them with a healthy fat or protein to reduce blood sugar changes. Eat more of the foods listed below, which have been examined for their cardiovascular benefits and may help naturally unclog arteries by promoting blood sugar balance, weight reduction, reducing inflammation, and lowering LDL cholesterol. 14 artery cleaning foods and why they are beneficial. Before we begin this video, don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit bell to get notification for our new videos. Number 1. Oily fish. Fatty fish, such as salmon, sardines, anchovies, and mackerel, are high in omega-3 fats, which are anti-inflammatory unsaturated fats that protect against vascular inflammation and atherosclerosis. Omega-3 fatty acids can also reduce platelet aggregation, thus lowering the risk of blood clots, lower triglyceride levels, and increase levels of good HDL cholesterol, which helps to counteract the plaque-depositing effects of unhealthy LDL cholesterol. Furthermore, studies show that people who consume 2 or more servings of fish per week are less likely to develop carotid artery atherosclerosis. Number 2. Flax seeds. Flax seeds also contain anti-inflammatory plant-based omega-3s, alpha-linolenic acid, fiber, and antioxidant plant compounds known as lignans. Regular flaxseed consumption has been linked to lower blood sugar and insulin levels, as well as improved insulin sensitivity, in overweight and obese people with prediabetes. Furthermore, preliminary animal research suggests that regular flax consumption can help slow the progression of atherosclerotic plaques. Keep in mind that whole flax seeds aren't completely broken down during digestion, so choose ground flax seeds and keep them in the fridge to get the most out of them. Number 3. Berries. When it comes to arterial health, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries pack a powerful punch. These deeply colored fruits are high in polyphenol compounds like quercetin and anthocyanins, which have powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Berry consumption has been linked to improvements in LDL cholesterol, blood pressure, and even blood sugar control, all of which help keep arteries clear and healthy, thanks to these compounds, and a nice dose of fiber. Berries are a particularly good choice for regular consumption when compared to other fruits like grapes, oranges, and apples, which are high in a type of sugar called fructose. They're also low glycemic, which means they're unlikely to spike blood sugar. Number 4. Citrus fruits. Citrus is high in polyphenol compounds known as flavonoids. These citrus bioflavonoids have high antioxidant activity, which means they scavenge free radicals that would otherwise cause oxidative stress and drive disease processes. Citrus bioflavonoids, in particular, can help prevent LDL cholesterol from oxidizing into an even more damaging, inflammatory form of cholesterol known as oxidized LDL, which is strongly linked to atherosclerosis. According to one study, eating a grapefruit every day significantly reduced cholesterol and triglyceride levels in people who had recently undergone coronary bypass surgery. Citrus foods with lower sugar content are preferable. For a bioflavonoid boost, try grapefruit, as long as it doesn't interfere with any of your medications, or a squeeze of lemon or lime in your water. Number 5. Olive oil, extra virgin. Higher consumption of olive oil is linked to a lower risk of death and cardiovascular events such as heart attack and stroke. What distinguishes olive oil? It's high in monounsaturated fatty acids, MUFAs, and antioxidant polyphenols. Diets high in MUFAs have been linked to higher, good, HDL cholesterol and lower, bad, LDL cholesterol, while polyphenols in extra virgin olive oil help lower inflammation, platelet aggregation, LDL oxidation, and blood pressure. According to one meta-analysis, people who consume the most olive oil had a 16% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes and lower hemoglobin A1c, HbA1c, a measure of average blood glucose over several months. Number 6. Avocado. Avocados have a 1-2 punch when it comes to cleaning out your arteries. Avocados, like olive oil, are high in MUFAs that help to stabilize blood sugar and lower cholesterol. They are, however, a surprisingly good source of fiber, with about 6.5 grams per half avocado. A recent study also discovered that eating 1 avocado per day is associated with lower LDL cholesterol levels. While some people are wary of eating avocados because they contain some saturated fat, Dr. Brewer says you don't have to worry about that. Although saturated fat consumption raises LDL cholesterol, it typically raises larger, bouncier, LDL particles, which are less likely to stick to artery walls and cause damage than small, dense LDL particles. Furthermore, recent research has found that reducing saturated fat intake has no beneficial cardiovascular effects. Number 7. Legumes. If you frequently consume grain-based side dishes, consider substituting legumes, beans, peas, chickpeas, lentils. These are high in fiber, especially soluble fiber, which can help prevent atherosclerosis by lowering LDL cholesterol. Even 1 serving of beans per day has been linked to a significant reduction in LDL. Legumes have also been linked to blood pressure reductions and chronic inflammation, both of which contribute to atherosclerosis and blood vessel damage. Beans, according to the American Diabetes Association, have a low glycemic index, which means they are unlikely to cause blood sugar spikes despite containing some carbohydrates. However, Dr. Brewer warns that legumes may cause blood sugar to rise in some people. He advises many of his patients to eat to the meter, glucose meter, particularly with lentils, which can be especially problematic for prediabetics. Combining legumes with a source of fat and/or protein can help to reduce their blood sugar spike potential. Number 8. Tomatoes. Tomatoes, particularly cooked tomatoes and tomato sauce, are high in lycopene, a powerful plant compound that gives tomatoes their red color and has been linked to higher levels of good, HDL cholesterol. People who ate a diet high in lycopene from tomato products were 17 to 26% less likely to develop heart disease in one study, and higher blood levels of lycopene were associated with a lower risk of stroke in another. Pro tip: fat increases lycopene absorption in the body, so drizzle some olive oil over your pasta sauce. Number 9. Vegetables with allium. A higher intake of allium vegetables, and cruciferous vegetables, which we'll discuss below, has been linked to a lower risk of death from atherosclerotic vascular disease. Garlic, onions, leeks, chives, scallions, and shallots are all high in organosulfur compounds, which may help reduce blood pressure, cholesterol, inflammation, and platelet clumping, all of which are beneficial for keeping arteries clear. Number 10. Cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables, think broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, arugula, and cabbage, contain organosulfur compounds and may lower your risk of dying from atherosclerosis. Furthermore, eating all vegetables, particularly cruciferous vegetables, has been linked to thinner, healthier carotid artery walls. Thick artery walls, on the other hand, are a marker of atherosclerosis. Cruciferous vegetables also contain fiber, which helps to stabilize blood sugar and lower cholesterol. Number 11. Walnuts. Nuts are high in protein, fiber, and healthy fats, and they have been linked to a lower risk of general cardiovascular disease and coronary heart disease, which happens when plaque accumulation restricts blood flow to the heart. Walnuts provide the greatest amounts of heart-healthy, plant-based omega-3s of any nut. Consuming walnuts as part of a high-fat diet resulted in a 55% reduction in atherosclerotic plaque growth when compared to control diets, according to an amazing animal research. Number 12. Beets. Red, golden, and rainbow beets may be divisive in terms of flavor, with a distinct earthiness, but there's no doubt they're beneficial to blood flow. Beets and beetroot juice are excellent sources of dietary nitrates, which are converted to nitric oxide, NO, in the body. NO relaxes and expands blood arteries, lowering blood pressure and helping to protect artery walls from damage that may leave them more prone to constriction and plaque formation. To soften the earthy flavor of beets, consider roasting them with olive oil or blending them into a smoothie. Number 13. Spinach. Spinach and other dark leafy greens, like beets, are high in dietary nitrates, which help maintain elastic, free-flowing blood vessels and arteries by increasing NO production. Leafy greens also include fiber and a variety of minerals, including folate. Folate promotes cardiovascular health by reducing homocysteine levels in the blood. Homocysteine level. Please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to watch more informative videos like this.